Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Mastermind. I'm Paul Baxter. I'm the implementation coach for the Mortgage Mastermind Group, and I can say it with no uncertainty. I am definitely here to help you grow. This is the Daily Mastermind class. So the way that our class schedule works, every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday we do a class called the Daily Mastermind. And Monday is always reserved for what we call open discussion, which means any question that you've got, anything that you're working on, whether it be a marketing strategy to implement video into your business, or it be a social media strategy, or we dove in deep last week with, at the end of the week, with showing how the Power Editor works by special request. So any questions that you're working on, anything that you're working on implementation-wise and strategies, we're wide open for those questions. Anything that you're working on with mortgages, we're wide open for those questions. Now, I may not be able to answer some of those questions, but we've got a fantastic mastermind group here, and we can bang our heads together, and with the interaction between all of the members, we can certainly come up with an answer. So, that being said, go ahead and pop your questions in there, and let's get this party started. Again, Monday's always open questions. Wednesday and Thursday, we typically have a very specific strategy that we're diving into and working on implementation. And Friday is either a interview with the top producing loan officer, and we've had several. We've had Alan Gross and Peggy Wilson and Ed Nauerall, and Chad Bates, who is the co-founder of Mortgage Mastermind Group, comes on several times and talks, deliver some of the things that he's done in his business to keep himself in the mortgage business and have a thriving mortgage business after 35 years. So we talk about all those things. Everything is wide open on a Monday, though, so let's get going. I see James has the first question in the box, so let's dive in. And Peggy, I know you may have some questions, and I've got a question for you too, Peggy. Last week, I know on the 28th, you had your first of your presentations implementing your presentation strategy. So I'm curious to know how your first presentation went. And let's talk through those things. How can we improve it? Where are some of the things that you did well? What is the follow-up process going to look like for turning that presentation that you did into loan opportunities? So James's question is, after we create our ads in Facebook, explain how to do the next step on capturing the information of the person viewing your ads, setting up the squeeze pages, etc., to complete the process. And James, that's one of the things that we were going to be covering this week, because it takes us going very in depth. It takes us going very in depth on explaining squeeze pages and how they work and how you can implement them into your business. Now, you may recall, James, we did a class probably 3 or 4 months ago that is in your archives, and let's see if we can't find it in the archives, and I'll explain what the class kind of breaks down for you here. Let me go into the members area real quick of the members site, so bear with me 1 second while I get all logged in here. And I'm going into the Daily Mastermind archive is where I'm going, James. Oh, where is it? In the 3-step funnel. And then, so these 2 classes right here, the 3-step funnel. The 3-step funnel, part 2 of your funnel is your squeeze pages and where you're using them. And then the Q&A that you see after that was the Monday open discussion that we did following that class, where it was all about creating and utilizing squeeze forms. Now, most of the focus that we used or did during that day, we focused on utilizing Weebly.com. Let me pop into Weebly real quick here so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me go into Weebly. It's been a minute. Let me try and remember my username and password here. Oh, goodness gracious. What is my username and password? Is it that one? Is that the password? Maybe, maybe, maybe. Fingers crossed, everybody. looks like we're in good shape here. So we focused on 2 ways to create your squeeze form during those classes. And again, we are going to dive into that deep because we talked so heavily about Facebook ads last week and over the last couple of weeks and how you utilize those in your business. And we introduced how the Power Editor can work for your business. We need to kind of go deep into conversion. How do you convert those people that are actually clicking those ads into loan opportunities or referral opportunities? So let me close out of that. And the thing that we talked about here is, notice I've got the squeeze form here, and that is just a module that you would drag over. You've got your RSVP form. Now I've already got the form in here, but you would drag over a form and you would basically just set up an easy squeeze form. And I like the way that I kind of saw the class that you guys are getting this information from, and I like the way that he did that, in that he is just utilizing an image to get people to click his link, and he makes the link look exactly like the image that he's using. It's very, very simple and very clean. I cannot remember the name of the website that he was using to create his web forms, but the classes I've done, we focused on utilizing Weebly to create your web form, because again, it's 100% free, and it has all the bells and whistles that you want. It's got the page itself. You can customize the form, and then it also has all of your tracking availability, where you can view your entries, and once visitors hit the website, and then you'll have the ability to export or download that list. Very cool stuff, and it's 100% free inside of Weebly. The other place that we focused on it was inside of Google Drive. So in Google Drive, if you come into Google Drive and you click on the Create option, one of the options that you get for Create is a form. So when you click on Google Create Form, excuse me, you've got the beginnings of a form, and it's just a simple matter of now adding your items to it. What's the first question? I want to know what your first name is, and that is not a multiple choice question, but that is a text question. They're going to have to fill that information out, and is that a required field? It absolutely is. So now I've got a question asking first name. Now I'm going to clone that, and instead of the next one being first name, I'm just going to change it to last name. And again, that's a required field. So I can clone this again, and I can make the next text field be email address, right? And then clone that again. That's a required field. And then I want their phone number. And I could just keep creating this little form as I go. Very simple to do, and those are the things that we focused on those 2 classes. And again, James, just so you know, for your own peace of mind, that's what we're going to be working on this week, is we're going to go deeply into how to create a form, how to create a web page form, and have that form actually convert. There's a couple of key elements that will help you convert on those forms, and one very specific element that's going to help you convert on those forms. And not just, I'm talking about, it's easy enough to get people to click your ad on Facebook. The real challenge is in getting people to actually take your action step once they land on your website, and that's the real challenge. That's what we're going to focus on. That's what it's all about. No sense creating income for Facebook and not get the names, numbers, and that is absolutely what it's all about. And James, that's really the challenge when you talk about Facebook ads, because in reality, you can dabble, even those that are novices, even those that are brand new, never done a Facebook ad ever once before in their whole entire lives, can go out, and on the first try, you can get people to click your ad. You can get those people to click. You can. It's the conversion that takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of time, a little bit of consistency, and a whole lot of analyzation. You've got to really get to know what people are liking about what you're doing and what they're not liking about what you're doing, and adjust as you go to maximize that when somebody does click the ad, it's not just a click on the ad, but it's also going to lead you to a conversion or have a higher opportunity to lead you to a conversion, which in our instance is a loan application or an inquiry about listing their property or whatever the case may be, a refinance, wanting to get a reverse mortgage, a veteran looking to find out what his benefits are. So great question, though. And again, James, we are going to be working on that this week about conversion, because that's the big part of it. You know, I've talked about, and I kind of, you guys know me, I understand that a lot of us on this call don't understand the technical side of things as well as maybe I do. I pick it up a little bit quicker. And so sometimes on the classes I have focused on the technical side of things as opposed to the conversion and the psychology behind converting with your ad and what your ad needs to do to get people to create that feeling, and that feeling creates that brand awareness, and then based on that brand awareness they believe in your brand promise, and then they take your action step and do business with you in the long run. So we're going to focus a lot on that stuff. There's some technical stuff that goes to it. Sure, you got to create the actual page, but we're going to talk about the psychology and the way that you create the page and how you get those people to hear your message, how you get them to understand that it's a brand promise you're delivering and that they can trust you in that brand promise and take your action step. Peggy, no questions. Have to catch up with the Thursday and Friday recordings. Absolutely. We had a couple of real good classes. Friday, we just went really, really deep into the Power Editor. One of the things that I will tell you about Power Editor versus the regular ad manager on Facebook is that the Power Editor only has a couple of benefits or features that carry you above using the Ads Manager. I find it much easier to utilize the Ads Manager. And at the same time, the big benefit used to be a year ago, 6 months ago, the big benefit used to be that the demographics were much greater, or the availability of demographics were much greater in the Power Editor. Well, Facebook has changed that. As you guys know, we did a whole class on the changes of Facebook ads literally less than 30 days ago. Those big changes incorporated all of that demographic search, all of those available partner demographics, that is what they call it inside of Facebook, are now available through the general self-serve ad manager. So those benefits of Power Editor they're not as huge as they used to be 6 months ago. But there's still some advantages, and so learning that is, if you want to learn it that way as opposed to learning it through the Ads Manager, because when new things are added, they're added to the Power Editor first for testing and because it's, being a little bit more robust, it's typically used more by the programmers than the regular self-serve spaces. So definitely check that out, was my point, Peggy. That was a long-winded way to say definitely get in there and take a peek at that. So good stuff. James is asking, are there recordings in the Mortgage Mastermind Group website already, and what is it called? So yes, I guess I was explaining that as you were typing that question in, James. So again, if you go into the members area and then the Daily Mastermind, scroll down till you see the 3-step funnel. The class is the 3-step funnel. Step 2 is basically all about creating your squeeze pages, and I focused with using Weebly and Google Drive, creating forms in Google Drive. And then the Q&A that's after that is an open discussion, James, where we're able to answer a lot of the basic questions. And I would recommend that you watch the 3-step funnel first and then check out the Q&A on ads and forms, because that'll give you a lot of the questions that you're going to have after the 3-step funnel and really help you. And that'll give you a good leadway into what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday and Thursday this week. Sound good? Sounds good? All right. Okay, so here's a few minutes ago. Let me give some background again. I've got a couple of new people on the class, so everybody, if you want to welcome our brand new member, members to the group. We're excited to have you here. And again, it's open questions. Anything you want to ask, we're wide open to it. So, Wendy, feel free if you want to ask some questions, or if you want to hang back and kind of get the flow of the class, that's more than welcome too. We just want to make sure that you feel comfortable here. This is a safe place for you, and every question is fair game as it relates to us here in the mastermind group. So, Wendy, welcome to the group. We're excited to have you here. Earlier, I had asked Peggy how her presentation went. If you recall, we spent the entire month of December going over and implementing or creating and implementing a presentation strategy, presentations to real estate agent partners and presentations to consumers directly. How do you get them into the seats? I mean, we covered the entire strategy as it relates to presentations, and it's one of the things that Peggy took it upon herself to implement for her business in 2015. That was that was the first pillar of business that she wanted to create for 2015, and so she scheduled her first presentation was scheduled for January 28th, which, if you guys know, that was last week, I believe Thursday. And so I asked at the beginning of class, how'd that go? And Peggy's response was, class was awesome. 10 agents, 2 of them were brand new faces that Peggy did not know. 1 agent who I know but who does not use me yet says she's been to lots of classes, but this was by far the best and most useful. So that's fantastic stuff. It's called content marketing is what it's called. So just if you want to put an overall label on it, what it's called is content marketing. What you're doing is you marketed yourself to 10 real estate agents, even if 8 of them were already partners with you, and it looks more like 7 of them were partners of you, 2 of them are brand new people who you didn't know were, and 1 agent you knew who they were, but they're not using you, so 7 of them may have been partners. But you got to brand yourself as an expert to those 7 partners who already know, trust, and like you. You went deeper with the relationship with them. You just entrenched yourself into their business because now that you solidified their trust within you. You reaffirmed, that's the word I'm looking for. You reaffirmed how you make them feel. That's why they're referring to you. So you've reaffirmed that feeling that you've given them. Fantastic job on that. Now you're going to take those 3 brand new agents, one of which that you knew who they were, which means to me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Peggy, if you knew who they were, that means they're a target. Because if they're in our mind, if we're thinking about them, they're a target for us, right? So you've got 1 that's a target and 2 brand new faces. You got an opportunity to brand yourself as an expert to those 3 people, and you've given yourself an excuse as to why you need to have a face-to-face with that agent that you knew who they were and they were a target. Hey, Peggy, I just want to thank you. Pick up the phone, ring, ring. Peggy Wilson, Paul Baxter here with Legacy Mortgage Group. I just wanted to thank you again for coming out and attending my class on how to use Gmail in your business. I hope it was able to help you a little bit in shortening some of the time that we spend in our business emails. Pause for appropriate response. Fantastic. Listen, Peggy, you've been on my target list for a while because I really admire your real estate business, and I'd love an opportunity to share a meal with you, get to know you a little bit better, and find out if there are some ways I may be able to help you with your already tremendous real estate business. Can I treat you to lunch on Thursday, 1 o'clock over at the Cheyenne Saloon? It's a great opportunity for that. And it's also an opportunity for you to take a look at those other 2 agents and find out, A, are they worthy of being on your target list, or B, would a simple call be fantastic word of mouth to whoever they work for or whatever top producers in the office are, that they work for? Not to sit down and treat them to spend your valuable business time with if they're the below average or not your typical quality agent, but certainly just a quick call and say, hey, and if you have any other agents that you think this may benefit, feel free to tell them. And then the word of mouth in the office, they want to be impressive to the top producer, so what are they going to do? Hey, top producer, I was at an educational class yesterday about how to organize my email. It was fantastic stuff with one of the top loan officers in the country. They want to brag about themselves doing something good for their business. They can't brag about the closing numbers, so they can say they're doing something good for their own business. It's a great opportunity. New people, for sure, one is very worthwhile. Have to research the other one. Great stuff. Perfect. I love it. Peggy, great stuff. Thank you again for sharing that information with us. Because, guys, again, we talked about this through the entire month of December. You've heard me say it, and I'll say it again. I firmly believe that presentations is hands down the single best way to create lasting referral partnerships. When you create that relationship that way, it is the easiest way to get those face-to-faces, because it's with content marketing, you're already branding yourself as an expert. They already see you as somebody that knows a little bit more than they do about any subject. It doesn't even matter what the subject is. They see you as knowing something more than they do. That's branding, guys. They have a feeling that you know more than they do. So again, one of my hands down most favoriteest strategies out there. Nice. Had a girl, Peggy, she said, no, by the way, I'm number 4 with the company and did more loan volume than the number 3 person. So she said, I'm totally getting on the follow-up with the other 2 title companies and the agents from this one. Great stuff. Proud of you, Peggy. Just the key element here now is, and this is the big thing, here's the word that you need to have in the back of your mind for the rest of this week until you have your next class planned. Have the word consistency in the back of your mind. I want you to, okay, Peggy, we're on a one-on-one coaching call. Here's how we're ending this call. You ready? I want you to have your class for February scheduled by the end of this week. That's your chore, that's your goal, that's your task as your coach for this week. Your championship is won by having your February class scheduled by the end of this week. Is that doable for you? And I see she posted, yes, sir. Great stuff, Peggy. I love it. You're doing good stuff with the presentations, though. That's one, again, I can't tell you how important of a strategy that is. Really, really good stuff. Oh, and one of the attendees, it says here, I missed this one earlier, one of the attendees was a title company gal who invited me, still vague but no date yet, to do a class for her title company. Great stuff. That's what it's all about. No sense creating income for Facebook and not get the names, numbers, and address. Couldn't agree more, James. That is what it's all about. I mean, you're not doing Facebook. Okay, so I know you guys have all heard the strategy called the Facebook ads that don't produce or Facebook ads that stink strategy. It's about branding and so on and so forth. That worked years ago, but that's not working. People are clicking those ads these days, and so it is important. It is vital. It is necessary to have a good squeeze and a good conversion page. Don't do ads anymore unless you have a purposeful plan to implement a conversion plan with them. Okay? Purposeful planned implementation. Remember, that's our backup. I mean, that is our motto. We talk about it all the time. Purposeful planned implementation, and that goes for all of the strategies, including Facebook ads. Have a plan to convert, and that goes back to my whole strategy about putting the cart before the horse. You never want to start off a marketing strategy until you've got a good follow-up plan in place and ready to implement. Don't have planned, purposeful implementation. Have a follow-up plan in place, then market it so that follow-up plan just kicks in as soon as things start, as soon as you start the process. Thank you very much, Peggy. I appreciate that. Thank you, and I'm glad to hear you're going to implement that strategy some more. So James is asking, when can you do a class on marketing to financial planners, CPAs, bankruptcy, and divorce attorneys? You know, that's a great question, James, and let me run that one by Chad and see if he's got CPA, bankruptcy, divorce, financial planners. Let me see if Chad, yeah, as you know, I'm a marketing expert. I can tell you anything you want to know about marketing. Um, and I've got some ideas. Let me talk to Chad and see if he's got some things that he's done in the past that have attracted them. There are some really great divorce strategies that I've seen in the past. I know a lot of financial planner strategies. Now, these strategies typically revolve around, again, niche programs. You know, the financial planner strategy typically revolves around like a reverse mortgage program and things. Let me see if that's a class that Chad and I can't do together, and let's see if we can't come up with a class on that type, specifically marketing to those people. You know, divorce attorneys, that's one that I've heard several strategies on, but the financial planners, CPAs, bankruptcy attorneys, these are all people that have access to people who either have lost a home but would like to own another one, are splitting assets. You know, divorces are, you've got two people who are looking for a home there. So those are great opportunities. And what it really boils down to, James, is just relationship marketing. Get face-to-face, get belly-to-belly, and have a conversation. James, tell me a little bit about yourself, man. How long have you been practicing law? Have you always focused on bankruptcy? It's bankruptcy law. That's great. Now, is there a Mrs. Bukovic? Great. And are there little Jameses running around too? Oh, that's awesome. And what grade are they in? You know, just get to know them. It's regular relationship building once you get that opportunity. And just like anybody else, I mean, financial planners, CPAs, divorce attorney, they're all people just like we are, and they want to have that. Dang it, I did it. I thought I said it right this time. I was trying, James. I thought I did it right this time. Bukovac. Right? Bukovac. I thought I was about to say that, and I thought I was going to get it wrong, so I went, man, you'll think, you think I'll get that right one day. I will. As many times as we talked on the phone and everything else. Getting the initial, how do you get that initial meeting? That seems to be a big thing with any professionals, you know, the same thing with real estate agents, with appraisers, with title reps, getting that initial appointment. We'll definitely cover that stuff. I'll get with Chad on that one. That's a good class topic. Thank you. Let's see, scanning through here, covered most of these. Okay, yeah, looks like we've covered the questions that we've covered all the questions so far. Again, the question box is wide open for you guys. Please don't hesitate to post a question. I've got the box in front of me, so when you post a question, it will pop in front of me. Going back to kind of what we talked about on Friday, and just to kind of show you, to reassure you, I focus on using the Ads Manager and the Create Ad tool. This is what they call the Selfserve tool as opposed to the Power Editor, and let me explain to you why. I find there's not as many steps going through the Power or the Advertise tool. I don't have to know too many buttons. But the main thing, the number one thing, the biggest portion of the entire Facebook ad part is when you're talking about the ad itself, it's not about anything, your content is very important. Yes, it absolutely is. But the number one thing is the demographic. Who is seeing your ad? Who is getting the ad? That's the number one thing. And in Power Editor, or in the Facebook ad, the same as in Power Editor, I have the same power of the ads or the demographics that's using partner demographics as well as Facebook's own indicators with all of the extras. I don't need Power Editor for that any longer. So that's why I typically focus on the regular Ads Manager, because I find it a little bit easier to navigate, and it's not so many steps to create one ad. James is saying, tell us a little bit more about the class that Peggy did with the realtors. So James, Peggy did a class about utilizing Gmail, and this is a class that she's done for, golly, 2 years now. She's done that same class for about 2 years, and it was originally downloaded. Oh, she said, I'd done it once before only. I thought she had that one for a little while. So what it was is it's a class about how to use Gmail. And with Gmail class, you got to keep the PowerPoint up to date, but it's originally she captured that one from a class that she saw with Agent Mastermind and converted that into her own class that basically just made it her own. Some features she shows, some she doesn't, just made it her own class. And that's it, just kind of, it's the PowerPoint class that she goes through. And she uses, or not the PowerPoint, it's the Gmail class that she goes through. And she uses Gmail all the time anyway, so she knows it pretty good. Is she the master at the specifics on Gmail? James, I'm going to be honest with you. And Peggy, please don't take this the wrong way. You know I love you. But she is anything but the master of specifics with Gmail. She uses Gmail. She knows how to send. She knows how to receive. She knows how to create folders. But the main thing is, and here's the big deal, she knows more than they know. You don't have to be a master. You don't have to know how to create a Facebook fan page for a listing on Facebook. You don't have to be a master of that to be able to teach it to your real estate agent partners. That's the cool thing, is Peggy's not a master, but because she's got the PowerPoint, because she's seen the class and how to go through it, she knows more than they do. And that's all you've got to do, is be a little bit more of an expert than they are. And yeah, that's the goal, actually. James's question is, has she done any classes with realtors that you do not know yet? And yeah, that's the goal, is to get as many realtors. Well, you know, with the first class, you got to remember this is Peggy's first class after re-implementing this strategy. So the reality is if she wouldn't have invited any of the agents that she already knows, she would have had 3 people in the room. You want to try and get a few people there. You want to create a little bit of a buzz. So it's important to invite agents you do know and you don't know. But yeah, it's always the goal to get agents you don't know. You know, you take what Ed Nauerall is doing with title companies. He does like the first Tuesday in one county and the second Tuesday in the next county. And he invites some agents that they know, trying to bring people in, and that's the goal, is to bring in people that you don't know. That's always the goal. And Peggy's saying, I did this class a little over a year ago at a RE/MAX office, but I was much better at it this time. Of course, practice is always going to make perfect, and you've had a year to play with Gmail for the last year too. And yeah, that's exactly right. She says, I think that's what Richard Smith says about his classes also. I can't agree with, you know, when it comes to teaching classes, practice is always, you're going to get smoother, you're going to get better each and every time you do a new presentation, or each and every time you do the same presentation over. But it gets better and better. It gets more and more. And the key to generating revenue, the key to it generating loans for you, is consistency. So that's always the goal, James, is to have new agents there, to get new realtors, to allow you to have an opportunity to show them cool stuff. Excuse me. So the demographics on Facebook ads, I just want to keep going back to that just because it's so important to understand where and how to navigate the, new question, hold on. Follow-up is the magic sauce, though. The follow-up, listen, I'm going to tell you right here, follow-up is the magic sauce is an understatement of the year, Peggy. If you do not have intention or do not have a follow-up plan in place, don't even do the presentation. I'm going to just say that. I'm going to be clear. And I don't mean to be rude, and I'm sorry if what do you mean? I'm going to tell you straight up, you're only shooting yourself in the foot. You're actually doing the opposite of branding yourself as that go-to person. You're kind of alienating yourselves if you don't do the follow-up. The key element, don't even do the presentation if you do not have a follow-up plan. If you do not have, like you take Alan for instance, he's got a follow-up plan in place. The instant he gets that contact, boom, they get a friend request and a connection request on the social media sites that he participates in. Next step is they get added to the weekly email. Next step is they get an appreciation card sent. Like clockwork, it happens for each and every single person. That's the kind of thing you've got to have for your presentation follow-up. It's got to be, a thank you email, a thank you card in the mail, and a thank you phone call. All three. It can't be just one. It's got to happen like clockwork. Exactly. I mean, it's got to be a real follow-up plan, like something like Alan's got. It's not even a thought process any longer for that. It's part of what happens. It's the natural progression, and it doesn't even take thought process any longer to happen because it's become habit. Some of you may know this, what is it? Is it like after you do something 21 times it becomes habit, or 21 days in a row of doing something it becomes, I can't remember what the number is, but there's some statistic that says after you do something X number of times it becomes habit, and that's what that is your follow-up plan. You have to implement it so well and so perfectly that it just becomes habit. It just becomes what you do. You do your presentation, boom, you send an email and you pick up the phone and you call and you got the card in the mail, and that's it. It just happens every time. I love the idea of implementing the social side of things. Connect with them on Facebook and LinkedIn or wherever you're social. If you're a Twitterer, I'm not calling you a twit. I'm saying if you're a Twitterer or an Instagrammer or a Pinterester, what would that be, a Pinterester? If you're Pinteresting, how about that? That's a good one. Did you guys hear that one? Pinteresting. A little bit Pinteresting. With the Facebook ads, do we need to show a website or not? I'd like to set up Facebook ads for veterans and reverse mortgages, but I do not have separate websites for each of those topics. And so that's okay, James. What you would do then is you would create a form in Google Drive. And one form, you would call it, where is my title stuff? I'll have to come back to it. So I could change theme, but when I change theme, there's a very basic theme. I'm going to go with that. Okay. File, rename. So I'd give this one like my Veterans of America form. Why will it not let me? There we go. Form description is what I was looking for. Sorry about that. There's my Veterans of America. To find out what your home buying benefits are as a veteran. Nope. Tell me where to send your home buying benefits kit home buying benefits for veterans kit. My sausage link fingers are not enjoying the keyboard today. Tell me where to send your home buying benefits for veterans kit. So I can add that in there, which is awesome sauce. So I can do that. Now I've got this, I can view the live form. So now I've got a cool veterans form. So now if I wanted to do another one, I just come over and create another one. And this one, what did we say our secondary group was? Reverse mortgages. So this one's going to be all about reverse mortgage Mythbuster. Tell me where to send the truthful answers to your reverse mortgage questions. Boom. And then again, I just edit the form up. I'm going to go first name. That is not a multiple choice. That's a text. Yes, it's required. I'm going to duplicate. Now I want last name. Duplicate. Email address. Phone number. 5. Phone number. So I've got both forms, okay? And then you can view the live form again if you want to see what it looks like. You've got the view of the form. I believe that in the themes, if I am not mistaken, I thought there was a way copy theme from another form. I thought there was a way. Insert. No. Maybe not. I thought I could add my own image. Yeah, customize. There we go. Customize. Header image. Title, description, question, help, options, form background, page background. So I could even do like a form background. Oh, that's colors, page background, colors, change image. Oh, I could add an image to the page background, but not the form. What are options? Header image, choose image. So I could even put a little image in there, including upload. And maybe I've got a cool picture of a military man in front of his new home, or some seniors, very happy seniors. Let's see, do I have any of those items in here? Wow, there's something. We'll go with that. Boom. So now I got some cool imagery going on. And again, you want to look at your live form. Now there's my live form. Now I don't know that I would put an image this big in there because most of my form is not seen. So I want to get a different picture because that one is messing up my view. So if I go fit to width, yeah, see now it makes it even worse. So let's do that. Let's remove that. And so you could do several things with it. I like a video in there, so typically I would use the Weebly one because I can embed a video above my form, and that's really the ultimate way to deliver your message, or to deliver or create those conversions. And again, that's something we're going to go deep into on Wednesday and Thursday this week, is conversions. That's awesome. So Alan says, I have a real estate office that posts new agents to their Facebook page, and they posted 11 new agents today. So that's awesome. They got 11 new hires working for them starting today. So today, 11 agents got a congratulations on your move cards, and 11 agents got added to an Agent Mastermind invitation list. That's awesome, Alan. Great stuff. That's great stuff. And just take some of this out of here. I don't even know what this one is. I don't even know what that is. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. What is this? It's always dangerous. Okay. Oh, I know what that is. So James is asking, how did Alan see that the agents were added? So James, the easy way is he was on Facebook and he follows that page, and so he saw that a post in some way as you scroll through your news feed. Again, it's important to make sure that you separate your news feeds by lists. So if I come over here to my lists and I want to see what all of my agents have going on today, so if I go into my prospect agents and I see what's going on in my prospect agents, now if 11 people got named to a pretty popular real estate agency, the likelihood is that somebody throughout my group of friends that are Facebook fans and friends with other agents in the area, somebody is going to like a photo of somebody getting a new agent, or somewhere along the line. So somewhere along the line, he saw in his newsfeed or on their Facebook page that they posted, ooh, look, Mark Rasmussen likes the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Elite. There's somebody new for me to go check out. Let me go to the Ashton Real Estate Group in my area. Yes, I like your page, dude. Of course I like your page. That's connecting. That's adding to my network. But I can see on here, I mean, if they made a post about new agents, Mark O'Connell of the Ashley Real Estate Group, Elade had a very busy week. On Saturday, his son played in the rugby state final. And, you know, hey, congratulations. That's the reason right there is the kind of thing Alan looks for a reason for a card. Congratulations, Mark, on your son's rugby state final state championship. That's awesome stuff. Oh, and I guess congratulations on selling that house too. That's equally as good. There's reasons for engagement right there. Right? These are reasons for engagement. And so all that happened was Alan, through combing through his news feed, hopefully Alan was combing through his list of news feed, but combing through his news feed, he saw somebody had posted, you know, hey, there's a bunch of, there's some new employees. So you go there and you pick up on the names and you put it all down and you follow that. And Alan implemented his normal follow-up strategy, his normal follow-up plan. Which is what he does every single time, no matter what, which is why it has become habit, which is why it has become consistent, which is why it works, guys. Let me just say that again, which is why it works. Okay? And that is friend them Facebook, connect on LinkedIn, send them a card, add them to the list. Simple as that. Let me see if I can't pull that up, Alan. Thank you. So this was the picture that got posted on Facebook. This is the post he saw on Facebook, where are these new agents. So we each got a congratulations. Look at that. That's beautiful. Alan, that's kind of cool, man. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but did you notice the email addresses for each of these people? Yeah, that's good stuff right there, man. That is good stuff right there. You know what? Probably, James. James is asking, do the RE/MAX offices in your area, Alan, have paid in-house lenders? And you know what? At this stage in the game anymore, that's so commonplace, James. Most of your bigger real estate houses are going to have a in-house lender who is paying, you know, you're saying $2,000 to $3,000. I know of a lender. I have heard of lenders paying upwards of $5,000 a month to have a desk in that particular real estate office. I know of some lenders that's what they do is they pay, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 for each of them and have 6 or 7 lenders throughout the county sprinkled in different offices. There's nothing wrong with pay to play. Here's the thing is statistically, and this goes for any office, it's easy, James. Here's the real statistic, and I'm just being straight up honest. You can ask anybody this statistic. The best in-house lenders, and I'm talking about the very best in-house lenders, meaning they're paying to play. They're paying $2,000 or $3,000. The very best, the ones that are doing the most amount of business, are doing between 20 and 25% of that office's business. 20 and 25% of the office's business are going to the in-house lender in the very best scenarios for the in-house lender. That's the in-house lender that is doing a bang-up job. They're doing everything they can, and they're getting the most amount out of it. Is 20 to 25% of the business is coming through that lender. that means that 75 to 80% of that business is going elsewhere, outside, other lenders, other relationships, other opportunities. So the way that you compete with that is you ignore it. 90% of in-house lenders, they go in there thinking that just because they've got a chair inside that office, they're going to get deals coming to their desk, and they'll get a couple here and there. Most of your in-house lenders are fat and sassy, doing 4 or 5 deals every single month and that they'll do that just by sitting there. Sure, and it's worth it to them to spend $3,000 to get 4 built-in deals, and they don't have to do anything. They just sit there. I promise you, they're not going out making an effort. They're not providing any value. They're not taking lunches. They're not developing relationships. They're not doing anything, in most cases, to create more people doing more of that business with them. And even when they are, they're getting 20 to 25%. So in reality, every real estate office is a great opportunity. I don't care if they've got 3 or 4 in-house lenders, because the reality is a vast majority of that office's business is still not going to that in-house lender. I don't care how much they're paying. So that's it. Don't let that bother you. Don't ever worry. When you hear that, just like any other objection, James, just like, oh, I'm already working with somebody, or oh, I'm too busy to do that today. Oh, I'm way busy. I don't do any of that. It's a smokescreen objection, just like the rest of them. It's a smokescreen objection. Oh, you've got an in-house lender working in the office. That's fantastic. Well, I would love an opportunity to be your second opinion person, but my real goal is to help you grow your business and make it so that you have to have 2 or 3 realtor or lender relationships to be able to do the amount of business you're doing. Do you mind if we meet for lunch and find out if there's things I can do to help you grow your business? And move on, because it's a smokescreen objection. That's it, guys. It's the top of the hour. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me on this beautiful, well, I say beautiful Monday. We've got a cold front just rolled through. We literally had monsoon rain like 45 minutes ago, and now it's like the sun's shining, but I can see the wind is blowing. It's not a beautiful day, but it is still a doggone great day. So I appreciate you guys. Oh, Peggy, it may be beautiful compared to that. Peggy says 14 inches of snow. My day is a little bit better than that. I am sorry, Peggy. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me on this fine Monday. We are going to be right back here, same time, same channel, on Wednesday. Again, we're going to dive deep into conversion pages. I'm not going to, we've called them squeeze pages and landing pages and everything else. I want to change our mentality. So instead of calling them that, I want to call them conversion pages. Let's start calling them conversion pages, because that's going to get us into the mentality of what those doggone pages are meant to do, and let's start converting. Guys, girls, have a fantastic rest of your Monday, and we will see you right back here same time, same channel on Wednesday. Have a good day, everybody.